In the previous episode, we dismantled the false beliefs behind weak strategies. Today, we step into the cleansing phase. It's time to eliminate the phrases, mindsets, and internal logics that silently sabotage your positioning. Because a clear brand is not built by adding more ideas. It's built by removing mental clutter. And in the next episode, we will rebuild from scratch, but this time with true vision. It's not your product. It's not your price. What's holding you back is the way you think about your business. Let's talk about eliminating toxic thinking. A mind filled with half-truths doesn't build a brand, it builds a trap. Strategy doesn't die from a lack of ideas. It dies from the excess of unchallenged beliefs that sound good, but aren't true. And what sounds good rarely gets questioned. Some phrases have been planted so deep in the entrepreneurial mindset that they feel like harmless wisdom, but in reality, they work like conceptual cancer. Here are a few examples. The customer is always right. Kills your authority and sabotages your judgment. You have to adapt to the algorithm. Hands over your vision to a machine you don't even understand. What matters is to be everywhere all the time. Turns your brand into a purposeless spectacle. What works is what's trending. Lacks your originality inside a disposable trend cycle. These aren't just bad ideas. They are anti-strategic viruses disguised as common sense. The most dangerous phrases in branding aren't the wrong ones. They are the ones that are almost right. And that almost is where the toxicity hides. Because it makes you drop your guard. It sounds logical, but it disconnects you from what really, truly matters. Strategic thinking doesn't come from common sense. It comes from the discomfort of thinking differently. What no one else is saying? Let's dismantle these ideas. 1. The customer is always right. As we said, it kills your positioning. If the customer is always right, you are always in a position of compliance. And a brand that spends its life pleasing doesn't lead, it obeys. Powerful brands have principles, not fear of losing sales. You don't lead by being functional. You lead by standing firm in your vision. 2. Adapt to the algorithm. Is surrendering your message to someone else's system. Algorithms weren't designed to position you. They were designed to keep you playing an endless content game. Blindly adapting to the algorithm means optimizing for the platform, not for your positioning. Learn to use the algorithm, but never give it your soul. 3. Being seen everywhere. That doesn't build value. It builds exhaustion. Visibility without a clear narrative leads to saturation. Being seen doesn't mean being desired. An unforgettable brand doesn't need volume. It needs conceptual density. What gets remembered isn't what shows up the most. It's what leaves the deepest mark. 4. Following trends is by definition choosing what expires the fastest. If your brand is built on what's trending, your strategy already has an expiration date. Because when the market shifts, and it always does, your perceived value disappears with the trend that carried it. Real strategy doesn't follow the wind. It builds architecture against it. At Universo, we don't just clean up beliefs. We reinstall your brand's operating system. This is not aesthetic cleaning. It's structural. It's neurostrategic. The thinking that sustains your brand must be sharp, conscious, and deeply intentional, so that every move you make has a reason beyond the urge to sell. A brand is not built by thinking harder. It's built by refusing to think like everyone else. Because if your beliefs come from what others told you, then your brand's still thinking with someone else's mind. And that's not branding. That's operational possession. Strategic brand doesn't feed on trendy ideas. It feeds on structured judgment, conscious direction, and filtered thinking. Only when you remove what doesn't belong can what truly matters take its place. Eliminate the strategic noise. Reclaim your direction. Reconnect with your power. So, are you ready to let go of what doesn't serve you? To question what you've been repeating without thinking? To clear out what's still there but doesn't belong? A strategic mind must first be cleansed. Only then can it focus. Join us for the third episode of the Strategic Unlearning series, where we won't just talk about rebuilding. We'll talk about resetting your entire system. At Momentum, we believe that every move, no matter how small, is a step toward your success. I'm Vivi, and this is Universo.